This week I am, according to my instructions, supposed to be watching Ironheart. A film from all the way back in 1992 that I read stars Bolo Young, the actor from Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon and the Jean-Claude Van Damme film Bloodsport, the really big muscular Chinese guy. I like him. What? What do you mean that's the wrong Ironheart? Well, which one am I watching then? Oh balls, this week I'm supposed to be watching Ironheart, a 2025 miniseries from Disney Marvel that's been pushed back so many times that it may have started production in 1992. It also appears to not have Bolo Young in it at all. 0 out of 10 Marvel, 0 Bolos out of 10. Ironheart is the story of Riri Williams, a young engineering genius, who for some reason Marvel want to make raunchy covers for despite her being something like 13 years old. Marvel, look into my eye. No. Okay, no. Seek help and maybe the company of someone who's at least of legal drinking age. The armour maybe should look a bit more bulky as well. It's not there to show her curves. The curves, I repeat, of a 13-year-old girl. It's there to protect her. So the character is around 13 years old. In Black Panther, the character was supposed to be 19 years old, and in this being played by an actress who's 27. If this character is supposed to be a role model for teenage black girls, maybe not the best idea to get an actress who's 27, and I can barely believe Marvel did any of this. In my previous video, the trailer gave me the distinct impression of what this series was going to be. It repeatedly told me this character, Ironheart, Riri Williams, is a genius, but she gets hired by a criminal gang who give her a job interview that involved breaking into a box while trapped in a lift filled with poison gas, and at no point with her genius did she sense or suspect that something may be a bit shady with this group. So from the trailer, it looked like this series was going to be complete ass. And heaven forbid they show her being a genius instead of just repeatedly telling me.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
Because they tell me she's a genius and then she makes decisions like she has an IQ that's the temperature of tap water. Then I watched episode 1 and it somehow managed to be even worse than that. Because no, she's not an idiot. It turns out she's just an openly dishonest and corrupt thief. After escaping the lift, the leader of the gang straight up tells her in episode 1 that they make money through theft and extortion.
And if you agree to do the next 3 jobs with us, we'll have way more than this.
I assume these jobs aren't exactly legal.
And not exactly.
Okay, so what do you do?
Theft, extortion, breaking and entering.
She knows they're criminals, but she agrees to help them anyway because their leader offers her a lot of money, which she accepts because they made her character both greedy and arrogant. The first episode starts with her saying,
Just to let you know, your girlfriend will be bigger than Jobs.
Right.
Bigger than Gates.
Right.
Bigger than Pym.
Right.
Bigger than Stark.
Yeah.
And it occurs to me that I have no idea what the world of the MCU even is supposed to be at this point apart from a mess. It seems Apple exists in their world, Microsoft exists, as well as Stark Industries, and I have no idea how the world feels about Tony Stark at this point. Does anyone even know he sacrificed himself to save all life in the universe? They must do, surely, because half of the planet disappeared and then came back. If people know what Stark did, he must be like Jesus in their world, right? And Riri Williams was supposed to be a role model for teenage black girls. Marvel? Look into my eye, why did you make her a criminal? The character and actress are set up to fail from the start because this is Ironheart, essentially a replacement female minority Iron Man. And that means this actress is going to have to try to fill the boots of Robert Downey Jr. and good luck with that. But let's give it a chance. The fact that I'm watching this with such massively low expectations, well, it means it has a very low bar to get over. Like getting over a hurdle that's already been knocked to the floor. It seems Disney is releasing 3 episodes at once and then the remaining 3 episodes a week later. This suggests to me that Disney is ashamed of this series and is trying to sneak it out without anyone noticing. This adds once again to the likelihood that this series is indeed going to be complete ass. The lead character of this series, Riri Williams, is repellent, and the series cannot help but stray onto hate politics almost immediately.
I'm here because I can be the greatest inventor of my generation. I need cash. Money. Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire?
And in a word show, yes. Marvel, look into my eye. Do you remember your own movie? I know it was a while ago, but yes, Tony Stark made the first Iron Man suit in a cave using metal scraps. And he did it to save both his own life and that of a friend. In many ways it feels like I've already seen this series, because this immediate disrespect for Tony Stark is as baffling to me as it is offensive. Why do Marvel think it's a good idea to build up a new character by bashing the old ones that people like? This is what She-Hulk did with the Hulk, all over again, only worse. Because Stark sacrificed his life to save everybody in the fiction of your universe, including this girl. Riri Williams literally owes Tony Stark her entire life. Now, did Tony Stark have a good start in life? Was he privileged? Well, in many ways, yes. But in many ways, so is Riri Williams. She was born in America and was a child genius, and got a free ride scholarship to MIT, paid for by Tony Stark. I am minutes into this show and I already hate this woman. Who thought it was a good idea to have her be money hungry, greedy and unethical? She gets kicked out of MIT for nearly blowing up a lab, and she's helping people cheat on their grades for money and using the technology that she saw in Wakanda to do it, because she wants to make her own Iron Man suit, which would hardly make her a great inventor because Tony Stark already did it. She's rude to the people at MIT who've given her multiple chances, and then on her way out of MIT after she's been expelled, she steals a prototype Iron Man suit. And this stealing of the legacy of an existing hero feels much like the series Batwoman did. The endorsement of crime feels like the series Robin Hood that I reviewed, as well as Gotham Knights. The comic book heroes are increasingly no longer the people that stop crimes, they're now the people who commit them. And the mindset behind this show is just so small. If Riri Williams truly is the greatest inventor of her generation, why does she need to steal for money at all? Just a thought, have the character invent an amazing power source, then patent it, and you'll probably find you have more money than you'll ever need. You know, like the power source that would be required for an effing flying armoured suit that you already have. I can only conclude that this show was written by idiots. Riri then flies back home to the house of her single mother in Chicago in her stolen Iron Man suit, because of course she has a single mother. Every single damn show I watch that has a black American character in it, they write them coming from a broken home with no father, and on the flight back, her suit falls apart. But while in flight, it just so happens that she flies over members of a criminal gang that after their last break-in, failed, just so happened to be looking for an expert on technology to help them commit crimes. And what a coincidence, she just happens to fly over them right while they're having that conversation. And why is Riri trying to make an Iron Man suit anyway? Well, she wants something that can be worn by firemen and first responders. Okay. And the suit is costing her millions to make. Next question, where does she imagine the budget is going to come from to make one of those suits for every fireman in the continental United States? I have absolutely no idea. Because there are, according to Google, 1.2 million firefighters in the United States who would need suits, and she can't afford to make one. And it's naive beyond belief to think you can give Iron Man tech to firemen and law enforcement and not have it end up in the hands of the military. Tony Stark as a character was always very hesitant to let his tech get into the hands of the military where it could potentially get misused. And this girl is going to continue Stark's legacy by just handing it to them. In fact, she's going to give random tech away to university students for money so they can cheat on their grades. It looks like Disney Marvel seriously looked at themselves in a mirror and said, we need to have more characters that are role models for women and black Americans, so they release Ironheart and make her a criminal. The show hints at some sort of motivation for Riri, that she lost her stepfather and best friend in some sort of tragedy, and for me, that's what the show should have led with as her motivation, instead of her greed and ego, if they wanted to make this character in any way heroic. Also, she's not exactly making an Iron Man suit, because the protection is going to be quite a lot less than that of the real Iron Man suit, and its super special alloys, because hers is supposedly made out of repurposed Buick fenders, and the show has just stretched my suspension of disbelief way past breaking point. Because I can believe special alloys and tech may be stopping a tank round, but the same cannot be said of a Buick fender. As her suit has now fallen apart, Riri goes to a scrapyard to get old car parts with which to rebuild her Iron Man suit, despite having no money, and this is when she's approached by a member of the criminal gang, who pays for her car parts and offers her a shady job offer that she can get by taking a ride in a pizza parlour lift. And this is where they trap her in the lift and she has to escape to get the job by wrenching off a metal handrail that's been bolted to a lift wall. And the hero of this show then accepts the job offer from the people who just tried to poison her with gas when they tell her they're criminals, and she joins them anyway because she wants the money. And this may be the single worst role model for young people I've ever seen. And the worst part is maybe that it would have been so easy to make Riri Williams a hero instead of being an incompetent thief like they made her. Rewind the story back to her in MIT. The criminal gang need a technical expert and want her, so the bad guy of the show sabotages Riri's experiments, causing an accident that she gets blamed for, and this gets her thrown out of the university. She then goes back to Chicago to see her parents, because I'd maybe give her a dad for once, and while she's there, her parents are kidnapped and held hostage by the criminal gang in order to force Riri to work with them, and while working with them, she's in secret gathering resources to make her own Iron Man suit so she can stop the gang and save her parents. Marvel, this should not be hard. So, should you watch Disney Marvel's Ironheart? No, probably not. And it isn't the acting. It's not great, but it's okay. The CGI isn't great, but it's okay. The sound is fine, and it's not like they're getting a boom mic into shots. The real reason for me is that from episode 1, much like the series Velma, this show is hateful and self-destructive poison.